Forster Gym Tournament.
Yeah. You wouldn't be keeping them alive this long to kill them.
With a fish display at Forster. Stephen's tent. Leaderboard day one. The boat's lined up ready to go at Forster.
You don't have to run a couple of work. You put in work with paid once, but you put in, so you got nothing.
That's about as far as I've got.
Mate, what's the tactic for next year then? I'm sure you're going to be back to try and win your title back. We've got a couple of guys up ahead of you at the moment. Anything straight off the bat you're going to try?
I'll probably work at it a bit harder and not take it quite so casual.
Be serious.
Yeah, I just don't like stressing about it. I'd rather enjoy myself. So I'm just sort of taking it back one step for a little while, just to enjoy it for a while, and we'll see what happens next year. If we make the final this year, so be it. If we don't, well, save some money.
All right, Andrew, well done, mate. That's a great effort. You're still... Brendan's very shy. He's not going to come up and chat to us on stage, but he has a great bag of limp fish.
2.38.
5 fish for 2.38 kilos. Round of applause for Brendan, mate. That's, I think, his first Brimmies weighed in a Brim tournament, is it? Indeed. And this will be his first chance to appear up here and tell us all about it. But by the look of his shirt there, he caught them on some Bassmaster jig heads, and I tell you what, I think he's going to be smiling for all week because he's his first fish he's weighed in at these tournaments, so that's wonderful. Next angler we have weighing in here is from down Pambula Bega way on the south coast, Kev Gleed, and he came in the top 5 in the last Brim event down the Shoalhaven. Has he got another 5 today? He's got 4 fish today. He hasn't got his limit. Come over here, Kev, and 1.9 kilos. Tell us all about your day on the water today, Kev. How was it? Tough?
Oh, just kept falling off, they did. Lots of little ones.
Lots of little fellas. Did you get smoked by any monsters out there?
No, one boiled on the surface, and that's it. The highlight, though, was we made it back by 30 seconds.
And no points penalty. Well done, Kev. Making it back on time, and he wouldn't have made it back on time. Kevin Gleed from the south coast. Now we've got 4th or 5th. Mate, what was the damage this year? What happened?
Oh, just didn't happen for me. Plenty of little ones, no big ones.
Any improvements in your tactics maybe for next year? You reckon you did anything wrong this close to the event?
I didn't do enough homework this year.
More fishing next year. Mate, that's something that no one can complain about, more fishing. Brett Young has 3 fish. And he's got the flu. He's not going to come and give it to me. How big was it? 1.98?
Yep.
1.98 kilos for Brett Young. Well done, Brett. That'll get you up there on the leaderboard. Those fish will be released into the Reef Science tank. Did you catch them on hard bodies or soft, Brett?
1 on soft, 2 on hard.
1 on soft bodies and 2 on hard bodies. And if you're wondering what those sort of lures are, feel free to ask the anglers that are hanging around here at the weigh-in, because they're happy to explain it to you. 2, you could go up to GB Marine and ask Max Frost. Or 3, you can buy a copy of Brim at 1 and there's 2 hours explaining all about it in there. $35. Dean Grooms, the Brick Doctor, has 2 fish. And they 1.42 kilograms. Well done, Dean. Dino, come here and mate, tell us about those fish. You fished as a boater last year. You turned to a non-boater this year. Was that the secret to success?
Yeah, I've had Yamahas all my life, but I might change this time because my motors give me problems, so I did bring a boat this time. But it's been good though. 2 days getting chauffeured, driven around. Don't have to worry about anything. Just sit there and cast and it's great fun.
Mate, and catch a few fish, mate. Before you go too, your jumpers are in the back of my car. Don't forget them. I know you don't like wearing them, but they're there. Good on you, Dino. 2 fish. Here we have Ross Lamott, and Ross has got the very interesting large fiberglass craft that you'll see in the car park soon. He's got 3 fish this weekend. He's a local. 1.38 kilos. Well done, Ross. He doesn't look like he's very happy with that bag. Ross, come and have a chat to us. Mate, your plans for this weekend? I hope you plan to catch 5 each day. That didn't come off.
Yeah, I did, but I lost a lot of fish, so yeah, I did 3 lures around rash. Didn't have much fun today, really.
Mate, you're a local. You live here in Forster?
No, sorry, mate.
Sorry, just up the road. And what do you think about the Forster? You didn't come down to Shoalhaven, but is this your favourite estuary around the place?
Oh, no, home, mate. Sorry, Manning River.
You like the Manning River there? You reckon you'll be able to get 5 a day there?
Yes.
No problems at all. Well done, Ross. We might think about that, take a Brim event there one day. If Ross reckons the manning's alright. I reckon the manning must be alright as well, because he can catch fish, this man. We still have some anglers to weigh in. We've got a majority of the top 5 anglers from yesterday still haven't weighed their fish in. We've just sort of held them off till last year to see what they need to get up the top. Currently we have over 40 anglers up here on the scoreboard. And the winning weight at the moment is 6.34 kilos of fish for 10 fish. So that's a 634 gram, which is nearly £1.5 average. So on lures and flies, that's a very good average size fish. I know that the current 2 leaders are going to be sitting there biting their nails at the moment, Russ Williams and Steve Starling. Both over 6 kilos of fish. And last year, 6 kilos of fish would have only got them into 3rd place. You needed 8 kilos to win last year. There's some very nervous anglers waiting for these next guys to weigh in. Because yesterday, in that windy, rainy, awful sort of day that we all like staying at home on, these guys were out there for 7 hours getting belted by the wind. Lake is full of fish like that, and I know Starling said he saw a whole heap of fish that were, they caught them up to 1 kilo, 1.3 kilos. He said there were fish twice that size up there. Next angler we have to weigh in is Tim the Brim Morgan. And how many points does he need to take the lead? The lead is 6.34 kilos. 3.46 kilos he needs to take the lead in this event. He doesn't make it to that, but he gets very close. 3.24 kilos for Tim Morgan. There you go, mate. That looks like around 200 grams short of a win again, mate. You fell short of a $16,000 boat motor and trailer last year by 200 grams. Did you lose the fish today that could have won you this event?
No.
They were the 5 fish again you caught today?
No, I caught about 7 today. I actually did lose one probably about 15 minutes before time. Just when I went to the leases near the bridge, but I don't know how big it was, but it was a lot bigger than the smaller one there.
Mate, you're happy with that performance this weekend? It looks like you've got just over 6 kilos of fish. You've got 6.12 kilos, and I tell you what, that takes you ahead of your mate Steve Starling on the scoreboard. Are you happy about that?
Wrapped.
Timmy works for Humminbird, and any questions about Humminbird sounders you can ask him after the event. He'll be hanging around here for the presentation. Well done, Tim. Good bag of fish. Here, James was coming second yesterday. Do you have 5 fish today, James? He has 3 fish today. I hope they're stonkers because he's going to need 6.34 kilos. He's going to need 3.38 kilograms for these 3 fish to do it, and Boothy's giving me a shake of the head, which means he mightn't have it there. James, come over here. Want to have a bit of a chat to you?
1.82.
1.82 kilograms. It's going to get you up there in the top 10, James. I saw you do a nice fish today there in the leases, mate. They weren't just holding for you?
Oh, look, I think I dropped about 12 fish today. It was hard. There's a lot of tide movement, and I think a lot of bait pressure as well. So the fish were moving in and out of the leases. So we're just trying to hunt them, but they were picky.
Yeah. How do you like Forster, mate, as a Brim Luring destination?
Oh, it's a top spot, and the accommodation's really good. Well, good facilities and that sort of thing. So hopefully we're back here.
James is the current Brim record holder. He's caught a 1.58 kilo Brim down at the Shoalhaven recently. Mate, that came within, 40 grams of being knocked off today. So John Schofield got one at 1.54. How long do you reckon your record's going to last for?
Probably till the grand final now.
It might indeed. Well done, James. You're going to be up there. You're up in the, where are you? You're up just drop down to the 6th spot now, James. You've got to catch the fish to go well. We have Ian Miller here. Makes those fantastic Ian Miller rods. He has 3 fish for 1.1 kilos. And Ian, you have a close association with sportsfishaustralia.net.au. Mate, tell us about those guys. They sponsor our big Brim trophy, and they give $500 to the guys that catch the biggest Brim. Give us a 30-second ad for them.
Yeah, sure. It's Australia's premier website, fishing website, dedicated to recreational fishing. It's got a lot of chat boards and information, even weather updates. Plenty of stuff there actually to see and do. It's a very, very busy site. Gets 60,000 individual visitors a month, I think it is. So yeah, it's right up there, and lots of good information.
Mate, I know I've seen some of the chat boards on there, and there's some really good, healthy discussion about tackle and tactics. If you wanted to get into Brim luring, you think that'd be a great place to start learning if you've got access to the internet?
Oh, definitely. You know, there's no shortage of people willing to give you their opinion. Starling gets on there a bit. He's always a big help push. He has a bit of a column, so yeah, we've got
for competing this weekend. Well done, you made it halfway up the scoreboard. Hope to see you. Today's Trent Butler. He's got another 5 fish today. He's going to need a bit over 3 kilos, I think, to do it. He hasn't got that. 2.06 kilograms Trent Butler has. Trent, come over here, mate. Look, you caught 10 fish for the weekend, and look, those 5 fish weren't big enough, but you're pretty happy with your performance, I'd say.
I had a good time at Foster. Did well last year and this year again, so yeah, it's a great place to fish.
Now, mate, we heard that you were on the television last night. You're a bit of a celebrity. That didn't go to your head today, mate, and make you choke on those fish.
No, I was on the TV, but I was right after a guy who I was also staying at Captain Jason Metcalf, and he got his shirt off, so I thought, well, I had my shirt on, so I can't look any worse.
Well done there, Trent, mate. Any comments about Foster? I know you drove all night from Brisbane to come down here and practice fish. You and the boys from Bundy enjoyed your stay?
Oh, we had a good time. Definitely looking at doing a recce trip here. Quite a good place for the Foster Beach Caravan Park is a great place to stay. It's all on the water, so why not? I'm there for 4 or 5 days.
Wonderful. Well done, Trent. Congratulations.
Come up, Tom.
Okay, Tommy, 1.44 kilos. We'll just get this PA fixed up. 2 fish. Well done, Tommy. Okay, let's go through the results for the weekend. We've got a few guys still here to put up on the board, but I know that the top 5 from yesterday have weighed in, and the top 5 yesterday were, we had leading was Chris Wright, who only brought in a couple of fish today. We had up there in the top 5 Trent Butler, who just weighed in his fish. He's dropped down to 5th place. In 3rd place yesterday we had James Poolman that only weighed in 3. In 4th place we had Russ Williams that weighed in an absolutely massive bag of bream, and he's jumped up to 1st at the moment. And we're just going to go through these final results to make sure that they're all official and sorted out. And we had Tim Morgan also in 5th place yesterday, and he weighed in 5 today to come up, and it looks like he may have finished 2nd. Tim also finished 2nd in this event last year, 2nd in the grand final. We're pretty hard on Timmy. He always seems to do well at all of his events. And what we're going to do after we'll just announce the final results when we get these final scores up. But in approximately 10 minutes' time, when we get organised, we're going to have an official presentation, and we're going to give away a whole heap of cash and prizes to the people who have not only caught fish, but also to the people who caught no fish. We've got a special prize of a week's accommodation at the Foster Beach Caravan Park to give away, and we're going to draw that out of the people who caught nothing this weekend. Now, just before we finish up and announce those final 5 places, I'm just going to get Mark James from New South Wales Fisheries to give us a few words to the competitors, but also to explain a little. Overall, we had 62 anglers, and they brought in, let's hear this, 253 bream that were 25 centimetres or greater to the fork. That's a great statistic. Well done, guys. That beats our current record of how many bream were brought in an event by about 100, I reckon. And that's a fantastic effort. I think both the anglers are getting better at catching them, and the more anglers fishing the events, which helps those statistics out. Yesterday we had 50 anglers catch 119 bream. Today we had 48 anglers catch 134 bream. And the biggest bream today, and I think we'll get him up here now because it was the biggest for the event, was caught by John Schofield, 1.54 kilograms. John, come up and grab a check. Now, Ian told us about Sportfish Australia before. This is sponsored by Sportfish Australia. Well done, John. Another $500. So far in the Bass Pro Series, John Schofield has won over $13,000 in cash. Mate, this is the first money you've won in your first bream event. This is pretty scary for the other anglers out there if you're going to get good at catching these fellas as well. Tell us all about that big one, apart from the fact you thought it was a flathead. Tell us the technique that you used to catch it.
I caught it on a orgy, I don't even know the name of it, Little Ripper, and just between the leases, and I was just twitching it slow. I've got to thank a lot of guys that helped me because I really didn't have a clue, and they told me what to do, and I went out there and it worked. And although I only got undersized fish through the day and not many of them, so in the last hour I got 2 fish, so I was real happy.
Mate, and those two fish were absolute snorkers. They're sitting around in the tank there. They're absolutely fantastic. It's about 3.5 pound on the old scale, that fish. And I know, for one, I never call that one that big on bait ever, let alone a lure. Have you got a few sponsors you'd like to thank for this weekend?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Peter Flynn from Cloundra Marine. It's a bit far for you guys to go to buy a boat, but if you're up that way, he's always worth seeing. Quintrex Boats, Mercury Outboards, Scientific Angler, Mako Sunglasses, and Lawrence Electronics. Thank you.
Thanks very much, John. $500 richer for his efforts this weekend. That's fantastic. Driven up from Marimbula in southern New South Wales, he caught 7 fish for 4.48 kilos. A round of applause for Chris Wright. Well done, Chris. He was leading yesterday, and he dropped a 10th today. Just goes to show that you've got to catch the limits of fish on both days. In 9th place, it was last year's champion. He caught 8.3 kilos. He caught 8.3 kilos last year. He caught 4.5 kilos this year for 9 out of 10 bream. A round of applause for Andrew Howard from Taree. In 8th place, it's a fella who's come in the top 10, I think, in both years now. He's a local from Forster. He caught 8 out of a possible 10 bream for 4.62 kilograms. A round of applause for Mick Walsh. Well done, Mick. This fella was coming 3rd yesterday, but again, he only brought 3. There were 3 really nice bream he brought to the Weighmaster today. The 3 he brought today weighed 1.82 kilograms. His total bag weighed 4.78 kilograms. A round of applause for James Poolman from Sydney. Well done, James. What are we up to now? This is up to 6th place, is it? This is 6th place. And he's a fella we all know. He's come up from the south coast as well. He caught 5.02 kilograms of bream for 9 out of 10 fish. Round of applause for Bushy. There he is. Well done, Bushy. We'll get Bushy up. All the top 5 anglers or 6 anglers will get up. Grab that as a souvenir, mate. That little bit of paper in there. You can take that back.
I might have got the board.
Mate, you're not going to get the board, but, mate, stay up here. And, mate, will you be back to Forster?
Yeah, I'm planning to live in Forster. I've just bought a big house up on the point over there. Not a problem. No, look, this is a fantastic place. I mean, there's plenty of places you can catch bream, but these bream, in the pre-fish, they just destroyed me. They just ripped my tackle to absolute shreds. I've got to go home and rewrite the book now, because all I wrote in there was all bullshit. Forget about that 4-pound fire line, you want 20-pound fire line. So, no, look, this is just a legendary place as far as I'm concerned, and you've only got to look behind you to see in that tank what they really look like. Big, silver, tough bruises, and when they get you 2 inches from a rack, you know all about it. So, yeah, I'd like just to thank everyone for organising the tournament. You've done a great job, mate. I'll thank you if no one else will. And, look, Forster's an awesome place, no worries.
Thanks very much, Bushy. Alrighty, now in 5th place. In 5th place, it takes home $100 cash. We've got a couple of prizes here, some line and a hat, etc. He's caught his limit of 10 out of 10 fish, and he's travelled all the way down from Brisbane to fish this event. If you watch the Bream in One video, which I'm sure everyone will eventually, you'll see him, he's featured down there in the Shoalhaven section. He's a bit of a character. His name's Trent Butler from Brisbane. Trent Butler in 5th place. Mate, there's some prizes there for you. You were sitting in 2nd place last night. You made your big appearance on local television. You did catch your 5 fish today, and those big bream just weren't there, were they?
Well, they were there. I just didn't get them.
That's about as honest as you like, mate. You've done very well in your last couple of bream events, and you're looking forward. You think you made the New South Wales team for the grand final?
Oh, I really don't know. I'd have to look. I can't remember what I finished at Shoalhaven or St. Bar. I forgot. You know, the drive. It's awesome, but oh no. If not, I'll pretend to be a Queenslander again.
Trent fished for New South Wales in the grand final last year, and you'll see all about him if you see the videos. Well done, Trent. 10 out of 10 is always a great catch in a bream tournament. In 4th place, the prize money doubles. It's $200. We've got some line and a hat and some bits and pieces here. Again, he's come down from Queensland. The Queenslanders have done very well this year after last year having been absolutely flogged by the New South Wales guys on their own turf. Last year in the grand final, New South Wales won the state trophy with double Queensland's weight. So they could throw in every second fish back and still won it, I reckon. Anyway, this fella travelled down from Queensland. He caught 8 out of 10 fish for 5.44 kilograms. Chris Metcalf. Well done, Chris. I'll post your badge in it to you. There's some gear. And mate, Chris, you're fishing in the boat this year that your brother actually won in the grand final last year. How are you finding that craft?
Yeah, it's really good, Steve. I can't say anything bad about the boat. It's great. It's going well. It's a bit worse for wear on the paintwear the last couple of days. It's a bit of bog and a bit of paint. When I get back, it should be back looking good again.
Now, I know you were very proud this weekend. The big brother had it over you last year in the grand final and finished ahead, and we're going to give you this opportunity up on stage to give him a bit of reviewing. You beat Michael this weekend. Are you feeling good about that?
Yeah, Michael and I always, every weekend we go out and fish, and sometimes he beats me. Normally he beats me more often than not, but yeah, not this time.
Well done on that, Chris, and congratulations. I'm sure we'll see you fishing the Queensland Series as well.
I'd just like to thank Springwood Marine, and in particular Travis Davies for all his help preparing us for the Forster Bream Comp.
Thanks very much, Chris, and thanks, Travis. Okay, and the prizes get a bit bigger here. It's $300 cash. We've got some lime. We've got a Keep Alive aerator, which will help keep your bream in tip-top condition. And if anyone sees the Bream and One video, you'll know that this guy's live well always needs a bit of work. He lost one out the back in one of the events there. He's from Gerringong on the south coast of New South Wales, and he needs no introduction. He caught 10 out of 10 fish for 6.06 kilograms. Steve Starling. There's some gear there. Booty and check. And Starla, you're never short for words, mate. Can you give us a brief wrap-up for this weekend? You make a big appearance on the Bream and One video, but let's do something live.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, and that video, by the way, I'm sure Steve's been giving it a bit of a plug, but it's fantastic what I've seen of it so far. Anyone that's interested in getting into this bream fishing on lures should grab a copy of it for sure. Yeah, it was a fantastic weekend. I really enjoyed up here last year. The fishing was different between the 2 years, I'd say. From my point of view anyway, there were a bit less fish this year, but they were a bit bigger, so that made it sort of more challenging. I saw, as I said earlier, I saw probably 2 of the biggest bream I've ever seen in the water today, so it was pretty exciting. It was also 3 of us in this tournament, myself and Bushy and Ian Miller had some of the prototype squidgies that Bushy and I have designed for Shimano, some little soft plastics, and I've got to say they fished pretty darn well, so we're pretty happy with those, and I'd like to thank Shimano, who are one of our major sponsors for Bushy and myself. And I'd also like to make a special thanks to Ian Miller, who builds these Brimbuster rods. And it'd be interesting to find out how many Brimbuster rods we used in the top 10 places. I think just about everybody's got one or aspiring to get one. And I'm lucky enough to have 4 at the moment. I've had to sell one of the kids for medical experiments, but I've got 4 now, and they're absolutely fantastic. He gave me a new one. He delivered a new one the day before I came up here, and that's what I caught most of the fish on. It was a slightly longer one than we have been using in the past, which has proven to be very, very good on the soft plastics. But look, these things are just going to go from strength to strength. This has been the biggest one ever. I reckon next year you're going to be probably looking at 45 or 50 boaters, so 100 anglers all up. And anyone that's standing out there in the crowd thinking about, gee, I'd like to have a go at that, give it a shot next year. Enter as a non-boater, fish a couple of tournaments, find out how it all works, and then go home and put clamp an electric motor on the bow of your boat, and you'll be into it. I think it's just a wonderful thing what's happened with these bream tournaments, and they're just going to go from strength to strength. And the great thing is that all those fish are going to go back into the water when this is all over. I think this harbour might be a pretty good fishing spot in a couple of days. But yeah, I'd like to thank Steve Morgan and everyone else from ABT, and Stephen Booth, who's the man in the background there, does all the hard work, while Morgo stands up here and gets the glory. But great job, guys. Well done.
Thanks very much, Starley, for those kind words. At Forster, he finished second last year with a 10 out of 10 bag that weighed over 7 kilos. This year his 10 out of 10 bag weighed 6.12 kilos, and he's the Queensland captain from last year. Tim Morgan come up and grab some cash and prizes. Second place takes $400 cash, some prizes, and also a custom-built deception rod. The builder of the rod, Danny Robinson, standing over here, and the donator of the rod, Paul Neller, is over there as well. They'll be happy to answer any questions and tell you where you can buy these things. There's another rod for the collection, Timmy. Tell us all about the weekend, mate, and how the game plan went.
I agree with Starlo that I don't think there were many fish here as last year, and I think the ones that were here were a lot harder to catch. I only got my 5 yesterday, legal brim, and I think I got 7 today.
Mate, did you use the soft plastic techniques that you did so well on last year, or did you fish hard bodies like some of the other guys?
I pre-fished with a lot of hard bodies, but I didn't go too well on them, and actually Mark Lawson over there cracked the pattern on little 2-inch atomic shads in a grey ghost colour. I fished them on a 16th-ounce jig head just in the dirty water upstream.
Well done, Timmy, and look, I'm sure we're going to see you here at Forster next year. Timmy's also a big star in the Brimmin video #1, and if you've heard that voice and you're tired of it, don't buy that video because you're going to hear a whole lot more of it on there.
I'd also like to thank my sponsors, Humminbird and Minn Kota, Mossop's Fishing Tackle, and Atomic Plastics and Gamakatsu jig heads. I used Atomics all weekend, they were great.
Thanks very much, Timmy. Okay, and in first place, and I'm sure this man is going to be absolutely chuffed at his win. It's his first win of a Brim tournament, and for his efforts he takes home $500 in cash. He's got about a $900 Humminbird 450 TX fish finder. He's got some shirts and hats and line and some tackle. He's going to enjoy all of that stuff, and he caught 5 out of 5 Brim on the first day that weighed 2.92 kilos, and that wasn't enough for him. He caught another 5 today that weighed 3.42 kilos, and that gave him 10 out of 10 for 6.34 kilos. I'd like to get Russ Williams up. Russ. Well done, Russ. Is there a hand for that? Yep. Mate, we had you down at the weigh-in before when you weighed in that 3.42 kilo bag, and you said it might be enough to win it, mate. You had your ear pretty close to the ground because it made it in, and it made it in by 220 grams. You'd be stoked at this, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm wrapped, mate. I was only kidding that I thought I might win it. I thought I'd go close, but Trent had to pull in a couple the other day, and that was a different story, and a few other fellas. But yeah, I'm wrapped.
Mate, what about your tactics for the weekend? I know we asked you a little bit about it down there before, but let's spend a minute and just talk in a little bit of detail about the lures and how you fish them around the racks here at Forster. What were your tactics for the weekend?
Well, tactics were to vary a lot whenever things went quiet. I used soft plastics if I need to fish a little deep, and if I want to fish it a little bit high, I'd use a hard body, and basically move around. Everywhere I caught fish yesterday, I didn't catch any there today, and I was really at a bit of a loss. I didn't have a fish till 11 o'clock in the boat, and tried a spot where it was hard to get to. I didn't think anyone had fished before. I'd never fished it before, and he paid the bigger fish, and in that area we've got a couple more near it, and yeah, Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle, all right. Now, look, winning this event, you don't have to worry about any of the angler year points. You go straight into the grand final. I reckon we need a ball and chain to keep you away from it. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
Russ actually finished very well. I think it was 6th or 7th in last year's grand final.
9th or 10th, I think.
9th or 10th. It was in the top 10 anyway, and look, that puts him in the top 10 Brim anglers in Australia. He certainly showed this weekend that he has what it takes to get amongst some of these big Brim out here, and what's more, he's got what it takes to actually get them back out of the oyster. Did you finish heavy line this weekend to get them out?
Around the racks here, I used a 17-pound fluorocarbon, but I still fished the 4-pound main line. And I also have to thank, I'm at the mic here, Bassmaster jig heads. They stood the test to the big Forster Brim this weekend, and I've straightened jig heads out many times here before, but the Bassmaster stood the test. And yeah, I think it's a lot of luck to whether you get a fish off the rack or not. There's a lot of guys here that can catch them and hook them, and it's up to the fish whether you're going to get it in or not. And if you have a lucky day, you have a lucky day. I had a lucky day.
Well done, Russ. Look, that's a very modest win, mate. You've done very well, and I know you're stoked to be up here. Well done. You've got about $1.5 grand worth of stuff there. Look forward to seeing you at the next event.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
Okay, Russ. Well done. Our champion Brim angler for the Forster Brim Challenge is Russ Williams. Now, what we have here is we have a special award. We don't know what to call it. We might sort of call it, I think, the Donuts Award, because the donut is when you get a big 0 on the scoreboard. And what we've done is we've grabbed the anglers that actually didn't weigh in a fish for the weekend, and we've got a week's accommodation at the Forster Beach Caravan Park to give away to one of these anglers. Can I get one of the kids down the front here to come and help draw this prize? Can I get you to come up and pick a lucky name out of Steve's hand there? That's it. Can I have that? All right. Is Steve Armand here? Steve Armand, mate, come up the front. We've got a special prize for you. You've got a week's accommodation at the Forster Beach Caravan Park, who've been absolutely fantastic for all of the competitors. Well done. Can't say you left with nothing this weekend now. And that's well done. All right, now the last thing that we have to do is to hand out the Angler of the Year trophy for New South Wales, and as I'm talking about it now, we're still a little bit unsure as to who's done it. So whether the angler themselves actually we have done the back of the envelope calculation to work it out. We got it might be a strange sort of occurrence of events, because it may be the Queensland Angler of the Year from last year. It may have been Tim Morgan who's taken it out, but what I'll do is I'll get a representative of Sportsfish Australia to maybe come up and present the prize, either Ian Barramiller or Steve Starling. Ian, to come up and do that. And I think in absence of any higher placing, I think that we might have to get up Tim Morgan to accept the trophy for the New South Wales Angler of the Year. I think he came 4th at Shoalhaven and 2nd at this event. Now this trophy is donated by sportsfish.net.au, and look, I know that you like fishing. I end up on top of Starlay's name on the scoreboard, but you're going to be right underneath it, I think, here on this one. But well done. Congratulations, and I'm sure Ian will congratulate you as well. It's a wonderful trophy that Neil Ryan from Sportsfish Australia has donated, and it's got one of your favourite fish on the top there. And mate, I've only got one question really. What's it like to be a Queenslander to win the New South Wales Angler of the Year?
I hope the Maroons win the Origin.
So there you go. One from the Queenslanders. Ian, have you got anything to say on behalf of sportfish.net.au?
Yeah, just congratulations to Tim. He's fought a very hard contest for the New South Wales Angler of the Year this year. It's really been very tight. There were some favourites from the Shoalhaven comp who just didn't get high enough in the placings this time, and consistency is what it's all about, isn't it? And Timmy's done that. He's been the most consistent, and that's basically why he's got the award. So congratulations to you, Tim, on behalf of sportsfishaustralia.com or www.sportsfish.com if you want to go there and visit us, and hope to see you back again next year.
Yes, well done, Timmy. Congratulations, and as he says, go the Queenslanders.